These are the 12 biggest smart lock mistakes homeowners make, and at least half of them could leave your front door more vulnerable than a traditional deadbolt you picked up for $50 at the hardware store. Smart locks are a $3.5 billion industry in 2026, with over 11 million American homes already having one installed. By the end of this year, residential use will account for 71% of the entire market. But here's the problem. Studies show that more than 50% of break-ins happen because homeowners make avoidable, lock-related security mistakes. The technology keeps getting better, the installations don't. So let's walk through every major mistake, starting with the one that wastes the most time and money. Mistake number 1 is buying before measuring. Most homeowners assume a smart lock is basically universal, that it'll fit any standard door. That's rarely true. Door thickness, backset measurements, deadbolt placement, and the shape of the existing cutout all determine whether a specific model will actually fit. The backset is the distance from the edge of your door to the center of the borehole where the lock cylinder sits. Most residential doors use either a 2 3/8 inch or a 2 3/4 inch backset, and not every smart lock accommodates both without an adapter. As American Best Locksmith puts it, most customers come to them with one of two questions. Which smart lock should I buy? Or after they've already bought one, why isn't this working with my door? Measure first, buy second. Mistake number 2 is ignoring door and frame alignment. This one starts before the lock is ever touched. If your door frame is even slightly out of alignment, the bolt won't seat properly in the strike plate. The lock feels stiff, it fails to latch fully, and the app might not even register it as locked. Older homes are especially prone to this. And here's the costly part. Forcing the bolt into a misaligned strike plate can strip the motor inside the lock, turning a minor alignment issue into a full replacement. Mistake number 3 is overlooking battery management. Battery failure is the single most common reason a smart lock stops responding. These locks run on batteries that typically last between 3 months and a year, depending on the model, usage, and connection type. Wi-Fi locks drain faster, and Bluetooth models last longer. But several things accelerate that drain in ways homeowners don't expect. A weak Wi-Fi signal forces your lock to work harder to maintain a connection. An auto relock timer set to 30 seconds dramatically increases daily motor cycles, and extending that timer to 2 or 4 minutes can make a significant difference. Mixing new batteries with old ones is a recipe for inconsistent voltage. Use high-quality lithium batteries, especially in cold weather, and replace them all at the same time. Mistake number 4 is neglecting network security. Whether your lock connects through Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or Zigbee, the security of that connection matters. Yet plenty of homeowners leave their router on its default password, skip updates, and connect every smart device to the same main household network. Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connections can be intercepted, and a weak or factory default password makes that attack trivially easy. The fix is straightforward. Put your smart lock on a separate network. Use WPA3 encryption and create complex, unique passwords for both the lock and the mobile app. That's not optional. It's the bare minimum. Mistake number 5 is skipping firmware updates. Manufacturers release firmware updates to patch security vulnerabilities and improve performance, and ignoring them leaves known weaknesses wide open. If you need a real-world example of why this matters, consider what happened with Chirp Systems. In March 2021, an Amazon Web Services engineer named Matt Brown discovered that Chirp's smart locks contained hard-coded credentials right in the source code, potentially affecting 50,000 dwellings. CISA eventually assigned it a severity rating of 9.1 out of 10. Chirp remained unresponsive for years. The lesson is clear. Even reputable companies ship flawed software, and updates are your only line of defense. Mistake number 6 is not testing before closing the door. Always test the bolt, the thumb turn, and every access method with the door open before you trust it with a closed door. Getting locked out during setup is frustrating and entirely avoidable. Mistake number 7 is forgetting the strike plate. If the new deadbolt doesn't align cleanly with the existing strike plate in the door frame, the lock won't fully engage. A smart lock that struggles to throw its bolt will eat through batteries in the process. Check the alignment and file, or replace the strike plate if needed. Mistake number 8 is not setting up backup entry methods. If your smart lock battery dies completely, the electronic functions stop working. No fingerprint, no app, no PIN code, but most locks include backup access, either a mechanical key override or an emergency power input, usually a 9-volt battery terminal or USB-C port near the keypad. The 9-volt battery trick is one of the most useful things to know. Touch a standard 9-volt battery to the external terminals, and you can jumpstart the lock just long enough to enter your code. That only works, though, if you've set it up beforehand. Mistake number 9 is DIY installation without the right skills. Smart locks are marketed as DIY friendly, and many people complete the installation without issues. But DIY installation can leave security gaps that are easy to miss. A lock body that's not fully seated creates a gap between the lock and the door surface that can be exploited with basic tools, and improper fixes tend to worsen the problem. If you're not confident in your ability to get a flush, secure fit, the $100 to $200 for professional installation is money well spent. Mistake number 10 is failing to review access logs and permissions. Smart locks generate data, tracking who unlocked the door and when. But most homeowners never look at those logs. Regularly reviewing access activity and managing shared permissions is essential. Use two-factor authentication, limit who has codes, and revoke access the moment it's no longer needed. Mistake number 11 is relying on voice unlocking. If your smart lock supports voice commands through a smart assistant, think carefully about whether you actually need that feature enabled. Voice unlocking can be triggered from outside a door or window. So if you're not using it regularly, disable it. And mistake number 12 is not updating locks after life changes. This might be the most common mistake of all. Homeowners forget to change codes or revoke access after a breakup, a tenant moving out, or a contractor finishing a job. One of the most dangerous assumptions you can make is that you're the only person with access. Previous homeowners, old tenants, and maintenance workers may still have copies of keys or active codes sitting in the system. So here's the bottom line. A smart lock is only as smart as the person who installs and maintains it. Choose a reputable brand with encryption, use ANSI Grade 1 or Grade 2 rated hardware, secure your network, update your firmware, and check your batteries and door alignment every few weeks. Treat access permissions like you'd treat your house keys, because that's exactly what they are. The smart lock market is projected to reach over $8 billion by 2030. Biometrics, matter over thread protocols, locks that last over 12 months on a single set of batteries. The technology will keep improving. But none of that matters if the strike plate doesn't line up, the firmware is 3 years old, and your ex still has the door code. The technology is ready. Make sure you are too.